So let's see. Oh, I should change my mic. Let's see. Last night, my mic was so echoey. I went back and watched it, and I was like, ooh.
What? Oh, were you live last night?
With yeah, I did Chris. I talked to Crispy last night. Oh, also we're live. Hi everybody.
Hi friends.
How well, we're here. Spoiler alert, sorry. Exit interview number 3 for our third juror, Miss Crystal. Crystal, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Better today than yesterday, obviously, but
Yeah, it's never
yeah.
fun, never enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for agreeing to talk to us and stream to the viewing party. We had a blast rooting for you
Oh,
this
thanks.
season. I just want to ask you first off, like, this was your first long-term org experience. What were
Yes.
some of the takeaways that you had from it?
Um, Definitely just understanding like my own way of playing games. I've only played like shorter ones before. So I was surprised how invested I got in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it kind of took up a lot of time, and I did really like getting to know all the people. I probably personally spent too much time getting to know people and less time actually strategizing with people. But I won't apologize for that because that's who I am. So
Yeah. Well, like I said, we it was really fun to watch you play and to make those connections, because that is the root of this. You make those connections so that you
yeah,
can work with people. And that brings me to the most important question that I have.
yeah.
We know that you were close with Justin,
Mm-hmm.
but you both you had like your own little thing, and
Mm-hmm.
you knew that he had his own little thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, like, who were you loyal to, and who did you want to be most loyal to in the game?
Um, I was loyal to him. I do know him outside of the game. And I did know that if I wanted to win in the end, he couldn't be there with me.
Hmm.
Um, so I can't fault him for, making things without me. I made things without him. I really wanted to be loyal in the game. Um, I think Chandler was actually probably going to be my real final two. Um, I I tried to get him not nominated.
Hmm.
It unfortunately for me, that uh, eviction cycle, I had like a personal work commitment, so I missed from even before we found out who won the veto to pretty much. I think
Right.
I submitted my vote about a minute before the voting window closed
Right.
from my car. Um, and there wasn't very much that I could do to save him. I tried to talk to Justin before I had to leave, but um, that wasn't in his plans, which again, like I can't fault him for. Um, but I didn't want him to leave and I wanted him to stay, and I would have been um, loyal to him. Um, and I was also coming around to actually being loyal to Blake, which kind of stung that he was the one who put me up. I was actually sort of kind of getting ready to try to put something together with Blake, Davy, and Mark.
Okay.
I felt like they were the outsiders um, of the game, which obviously they kind of were. They weren't in that six that got created.
Hmm.
So I thought that if I picked them up and they won HOH, I could influence them to get some other people out.
That wasn't you.
That wasn't me. It was,
And that's what I like. My biggest takeaway from your game was that you were very calculated in who you aligned with, where your hands were at and
Mhm.
where you needed to be. And sometimes you can't control that
Right.
because of Big Brother, where the power shifts so much.
Right.
But like, I always felt like I really didn't think you were in any sort of danger at all. And like, even when Blake won, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm trying to put the list together of like who's
Mhm.
in trouble here. And you were not on my
I
list.
did not think I was on his list either.
You weren't on my list at first. As I thought through some things, I was like, well, if he was, like maybe that would be a good move for him.
Mhm.
But I didn't, I wasn't,
Yeah.
you were
And
not at the forefront of the thought there.
and I had tried to use my accidental HOH
Yeah.
to kind of get on a good side with him, especially after I agreed not to put him up as a
Hmm.
pawn. I thought that I had done enough work with him that if he won HOH, I would be good. Um, I think
Oh, no.
unfortunately,
Oh, there we go.
what can I talk about my goodbye messages?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
No one will see this except for the viewing party.
Okay. So Dan Alt told me in my goodbye message that if he had used the veto, Blake said that he was going to put up Gwen. Um, and obviously now I know about Justin, Gwen, and Dan. Um, but I think if I do think if Blake was going to nominate anybody other than Gwen, that the veto might have gotten used on one of us.
Okay.
Like I think if he said, I'll nominate Mark or I'll nominate even somebody else
Hmm.
in the the smiley six, um, I, I think he might have used it. I think it was her. I think it was Gwen as the replacement nominee that
Okay.
stopped him from using it. I can't be sure. Um, that's kind of my read on what the situation would have been. Um, I think he might have used it on me as a calculated move on his part to get me to trust him more because I didn't trust him.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think I think that could have happened, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, this is maybe a tough question, but it's okay. If we want to skip it, we can. What were just like some of your like favorite moments from throughout the game? Like anything, does anything stick out to you as just like a really enjoyable or really funny or really like chaotic but like hilarious at the same time? Like I don't know. Like what do you think?
Um, I mean, I think the main house chat at times is just sometimes it just got really funny. Like one day we talked about French fries for 6 hours, which
Oh, they did.
uh, we actually did. Which I think just goes to show like I said to Anthony yesterday as he was telling me like, oh, I'm gonna vote you out. It's amazing how strangers on the internet can make you feel some kind of way. And I think things like that, talking with 15 people about French fries for 6 hours, I think really just encapsulates kind of what kind of connections you actually make with
Hmm.
people in games and how um I mean I know that I'm both an emotional and a logical player. um and the I think that really solidifies to me why voting people out and being in this game like is something that's emotional, that you actually do feel close to some of the people that you play
Yeah.
with.
I've always said, since I joined the OR community, the thing I find the most fascinating about it is, um, you know that you have to go in and you have to make connections, and so you are very open to like connecting with people. that's a great thing because it helps you in the game, but it's also a terrible thing because you have to then vote those people out, just like in the real game, but like even through the online platform, it's still something that is hard and difficult. And like I at times feel like I talk to my internet friends more than I talk to my real life friends, like, and my internet friends become my real life friends. And like, it's a very fascinating dichotomy of things, but, it's hard not to bring those emotions in, but like they just bleed in sometimes.
And I don't know if this got recorded or was in a call or like something that people know, but I said I feel like I lead with my emotions and then I like dial it back and do what needs to be done. I might regret it, but like I think that's just the way that I am as a person.
Well, and I know you really struggled with some of the decisions that you had to make. Voting out Adam, voting out Chandler. I know you really struggled with that.
Yeah. But I mean, like in hindsight, and I don't know if he is watching or he can watch, but like in hindsight, looking back on my game, probably the worst, the biggest regret or like biggest flaw in my game was voting out Adam.
It was the biggest. I'm gonna give you a spoiler. It was the biggest flaw for a lot of people. It really changed the course of a lot of people's games. That vote was very, very important.
And it was like, whether he knows or believes it or whatever, but it like gutted me to do that. I had to like redo my diary rooms like 6 or 7 times because I couldn't not cry every time I was like trying to do it.
Listen, BBH there's something about BBH that just brings out the tears because like I know that like I cried in season 10 and like I know that like there are videos from season 10 of like 4 or 5 different people on the cast crying, I think.
I'm not gonna be that girl who's like crying in all of her diary rooms. Like that's not gonna be me.
Okay, so there's only 7 people left.
8 people.
8 people left. My brain is scattered. 8 people left. Let's do a quick like word association. I'm gonna say a name.
I did that last night. You could just.
Well, no, the viewers didn't get to see it. Give us like 1 or 2 words about each person. Let's start with Justin.
I'm a little upset with him, to be honest. But like he's one of my people, so if he makes the final 2, I'll have a lot of questions for him. Mostly, I'll have a lot of questions for him, but he's one of my people, but I feel a little hurt right now, but we'll get over it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's do the opposite side of the spectrum to make this may be a little easier. Someone you have said you didn't trust, Dan Alt.
I think he is super calculating, very very cerebral and smart, and has a really good intuition. I just thought that, and I was right, that I didn't fit into his like end game plans. And he was gonna be a target of mine sooner rather than later. So,
all right. Let's see, Mark.
Mark is a sweetheart. I think he's a little lost in the game. I don't think he is super knows where all the players are. But I know he really wants to win HOH. So if he does, I'm really interested to see what he does with it.
Me too. Davey.
Oh, I have a lot of love for Davey. He is one of the only people who talked to me last night. So that means a lot. I think he's a little on his alone as well. I think he really trusts Gwen, and I think he's going to get burned by that. So,
okay, let's talk about Gwen.
She's good. Like I think that's the best word that I could say. I mean, I think she's good with people. She's good at the strategy. She has something that makes you feel super safe. So,
yeah, that's my mom. Okay.
Wait, you have kids?
Yeah, that was a funny moment for me. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Okay. Only a couple more. Macy.
Oh, she's hilarious. All of her TikToks and her memes. I really hope that she like finds a way to break through all of what's happening and find one to trust. Otherwise, I think that she probably won't be that far behind me if she's not able to like break into all of that.
Gotcha. All right, 2 left, I think. Let's talk about Blake.
Oof. he I think Blake is doing the best that he can. I obviously was more right than I even knew yesterday when I told him that keeping me was best for his game. I don't know. He could have like some master plan alliance that I don't know about. I think he's tight with Dan, and I think Dan's gonna cut him. Maybe him and Macy can do something. But yeah, he's probably the person that I'm like most mad at right now.
Okay, fair enough. And then the last one I think is Anthony.
Yeah, I think Anthony is gonna get screwed as well. Anthony is probably one of the sweetest people that I think I've ever met too. I think he also is just really genuine and wanting to get to know people and play this game. I really did have his back. Chandler and I fought so hard to get him to not go home in the double eviction.
You did.
We tried really hard. Like we're in that group chat for like an hour. And yeah, I think he's just a really genuine, like awesome person. I am sure that you guys would probably want me to say like more mean things about them.
No.
That's just not.
You gotta go your speed, your lane.
That's not
like
my.
that's my job. I'll rip them apart later.
I said it last night. Like I know you probably want fireworks, but that's just not who I am. So
no, I actually prefer when people stay true to themselves. Like, then this is no shade if he watches this. I was shocked when Chandler did that because I did not expect that out of him. I didn't feel like that like aligned with his like play style. Like that aligns with my play style. Like I go out, I'm gonna blow everybody up, even my best friend. Like I don't care. Like but that didn't. That was not how I expected Chandler to play, and so I was surprised by that. With you, I would have been floored had you like if you had done something like that. So
I had I said something to Blake before I left in like our private one-on-one chat, and I just said like it's not my style to like blow up people like in the public chat. Like I'm not going to do that. Like I do want you to know that like I feel really hurt that like you were the person who did this to me. He didn't say anything back. Like I'm fine with him not saying anything back. I just think that people have the right, or I have the right to let people know how I feel.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely, you do. Well, as we move towards ending this, I have a couple of final question, like one short final question. Well, I guess it's two, but like, who are you rooting for, and who is like the dark horse winner candidate for you?
I think people who like could I think some dark horses are Davy and Macy. I think should they play things right, I think they could get to the end. And I think depending on how, I think as more people come into the jury, the jury itself will start to take form on what kind of game we want to reward. Um, I'm completely open-minded. I said yesterday that I really want to vote for the best player. Like I want people to play hard, like don't play scared. Like do what you need to do. Like I don't, and I said this actually from the beginning if you all have watched my diary rooms or send my um t- chat tweets. I don't know.
Your pod chat,
My chats, that there are a lot of us who know each other from like outside the game, but this isn't that game. So like I'm here to play this game. So whoever played this game the best, like will get my vote. I am still rooting for Justin. I'm rooting for Gwen. Yeah, the two people I think that like hurt me the most are the two people that I'm rooting for right now, which is probably how it always goes.
Well, if you're gonna lose, you better lose to the winner. That's my opinion. That's always my opinion.
Yeah. I think Dan too. I think the three of them are playing phenomenal games right now. And I think I also didn't feel BS by them on the way out. Like I'm glad that they like shot straight, like what happened, told us what happened. Like I said that I didn't want to be blindsided by the vote, and they all told me. I mean, Justin was next to me, but like they all told me that they were voting me out and that kind of thing. So,
yeah.
But I think they're playing phenomenally.
Gotcha. All right, Crystal. Well, thank you so much for playing. It really was fun to watch and enjoyable to see you maneuver. I hope you had a good experience.
I had a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad. Anything else you want to say? This is the last time the viewing party will see you until a potential jury roundtable and or finale night. So
apply. Do it. It was fun.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. It's you have to put in a lot. But it was fun. It was worth it. So awesome. I recommend, highly recommend.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to sign us off from the viewing party. Goodbye, everybody.